Hello and welcome to this episode of Learn Everyday English, your roadway to English proficiency. Outside today, I got a chore I need to do, a chore. I got to blow some pine needles off the roof, I made a video not too long ago about chopping up pine needles in the backyard to use as mulch, but in this time of the year, in this neck of the woods, this area or part of the country, and especially where we live, there are a lot of big pine trees, and the pine trees drop a lot of pine needles that are all on the ground. They get all over the cars, and they get all on top of the roof. So right now I'll show you, but the roof is covered in pine needles. It's like a bed of pine needles covering the roof. I need to take those pine needles off the roof, and I'm going to blow them off the roof with a blower, a gas blower. I got to do this at least a couple times a year, but especially right now in the fall time period. So I'm going to go up there and show you what to do. I did a video like this about a year ago, so I got to do this, like I said, at least once a year or twice a year. But before I do that, hey, you know, there's 3 things you can do for me. Hey, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and 3, tell your friends about it so that they can benefit from these videos too, just like you. Another thing, remember my ebook, How to Talk Texan, is out on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description. Click on that if you'd like to get a copy. It's about over 150 expressions with example sentences and definitions. And also, if you feel like doing so, hey, buy me a cup of coffee. There's a link in the description below to help support this channel, and so I can keep bringing you videos like this. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get going. I'm going to show you the problem that I have and what I need to do. All right. So as you can see, on top of the roof, it has a brown color. But that brown is not the roof. The brown is pine needles that have completely covered the roof. And it's like a blanket of pine needles. The problem is the roofs here in the US are made out of shingles, or we say asphalt shingles. And if I let the pine needles stay on the roof, they can trap moisture and rain, and it can deteriorate the roof a lot quicker, cause the roof to deteriorate. So I need to take these pine needles, or get these pine needles off the roof. The fastest and easiest way to do that is to blow them off with a gas blower. So I'm gonna do that right now. So hey, come with me, let's go. Now I gotta get in here into the storage shed and get out the gas blower, and also need to get the step ladder out of here, step ladder. So I'm gonna need to use the step ladder to climb up onto the roof with. So let me go in here and get these things, and I'll be right back. So here's the step ladder. It's called a step ladder because I can step on it and climb up on the roof. I'm going to put this over here. It's not staying very well. I need to open up the legs a little bit. All right, let me get the gas blower. So here's the gas blower. I'll show you this more in detail in the backyard where there's more light. Let me get the fuel. And this is the fuel that I use to put in the gas blower. So let's go in the backyard. I can show you what I need to do to get this ready to use it, to blow the pine needles off the roof. Okay, I'm in the backyard now. I've got to get this gas blower ready to be used. This is the gas blower. It's the brand name is Echo. It's a pretty good brand. I bought this at Home Depot, and I've had it for quite a few years now, and it just does a very good job. And what I need to do is make sure the fuel is ready to, enough fuel in here. So I buy this pre-mixed fuel. I was using, you can put gas in here and then buy oil separately and mix the oil and the gas and then put it in here. But I use this pre-mixed fuel. The gas and oil are already mixed, and it says a 50-to-1 mixture, 50-to-1 mix. So it says 50-to-1 mix, engineered fuel plus oil, ready to use for two-cycle engines, ethanol free, excellent for long-term storage. And so I started using this because a friend of mine said these are better. This fuel is better than if you just buy gasoline and use oil and mix it, because it doesn't say gum up. The fuel doesn't gum up or get thick and clog up the motor and the carburetor. It's much cleaner. Yeah, once I started using this, sometimes these blowers and these two-cycle engines can get hard to start, especially if you haven't used them for a while. But since I've been using this, I haven't had any problems at all having the gas blower start. Seems like it does keep the carburetor and the little motor a lot cleaner. So I buy this in this large container. Then I usually transfer it into this smaller container, which is the same thing, because it's easier to pour into the gas tank here that's on the blower. So I need to put some fuel in this small container here, in a large container. See if I can do that without making too much of a mess. I don't really have a funnel, so I'm just gonna do this like this. I think that's good enough. Got some on my hand, but let me show you. This is the gas compartment, or the fuel compartment here. I need to fill this up. Just unscrew this cap. Take that off. Just pour the fuel right in here until it's full. It's interesting, the fuel is kind of a, say, a reddish color. It's a reddish color, maybe not what you would think fuel would look like. Put this cap back on. I have to do some routine maintenance on here. This does have a spark plug right here. I have to change that out periodically. So in order to start this, I need to flip this lever. There's a lever here. It says cold start. So I need to flip this to cold start. I need to press this there's a bulb here. It's a plastic bulb. I press that to kind of fill up the carburetor with some fluid. And then I need to pull this crank right here a few times, and the unit will kind of like it wants to start. So now the unit is almost started. I need to flip this lever back down to run, and it should start right up. Here the unit is running. I'm going to go over to the side of the house, get ready to climb up on the roof. So let's go with me. Well, I found the easiest way to get up on the roof. is to put the step ladder here on the side of the house, because the ground slopes up and I can lean the step ladder onto the gutter, the rain gutter. Let me walk over here and show you. So I can climb up here, but this part of the roof right here is the rain gutter. So when it rains, the water comes down into the gutter. You call this a gutter, if you can see that. But it's covered in pine needles. And over the gutter, I have a metal kind of plate to keep the pine needles from going inside the gutter. But so I can place a ladder against the gutter and then climb up the ladder and get on top of the roof. So that's what I'm going to do right now. But before I do that, let me go ahead and put the blower here on top of the roof so I don't have to carry that up the ladder with me. Let me get the blower. Put the blower right here, and I'm gonna walk up here, up the ladder. Get up on top of the roof, but here you can see a better view of the gutter. Let's see how thick these pine needles are. The gutter goes down to the end, but I put this gutter guard, we call it a gutter guard, that to keep the pine needles, everything from getting into the gutter. One of the best investments I've ever made, so it saves a lot of work from having to clean out the gutters all the time, especially with all this material that falls off. So let me get up on the roof here. So I'm up on top of the roof now. But I got to be careful when I climb up and down. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, as we say in English. Not a spring chicken. Means I'm not young or really young, so I'm 62 years old. I guess thankful I can still do this. I don't have to pay anybody to come out and do this for me. As long as I can do it, I'll keep doing it, but I got to be extra careful. So I'm going to have to start the blower. I turned it off to climb up on the roof. I got to start it up, but let me show you a few things while I'm up here. So this is up on top of the roof. We got a lot of lines and wires. Some of this is like, I think, old cable TV lines, which we don't really use, but the main line I need to watch out for is a power line, or the electricity line that brings power into the house. So I kind of try to stay away from that line. And there's few other things on top of the roof, but it's usually safe. We just had the roof replaced, I don't know, maybe about a year ago, because there was a big hailstorm. So the roof is very new. So the roofs here, I think they guaranteed the shingles for 25 years roughly. Like I said, they're called roof shingles or asphalt shingles. They're made out of some type of asphalt petroleum type product material. And this is the most common type of roof for single family homes here in the US. Well, let me start this blower and let's start blowing these pine needles off the roof. Okay, well, I finished blowing the pine needles off the roof. That didn't take too long, especially with this blower that I have. It only taken about 10-15 minutes. Remember, before I bought this blower, I used to use a push broom, and I swept the roof off. But man, that took all day, as we can say. That took a long time, probably at least 30-40 minutes, 45 minutes. So this is much faster, much more efficient. So let me show you what the roof looks like now. So as you can see here, the roof is clear of pine needles. I'm going to walk back over to the other end where I climbed up off on the roof, but it's a pretty, the house is maybe like 2,200 square feet or something like that, plus the carport area where we park the cars. But see, all the blanket of pine needles is now completely gone. But now I gotta go back down, and some more work to do is to clean up or rake up these all the pine needles that I blew off the roof on the ground. But let me climb down off of this roof and do that. Neighbor's dog next door is I don't know if you can see him through the trees, but he's barking at me. He's some type of like labradoodle or some type of dog like that. I'm going to turn this camera off and focus as I go down the ladder, because I sure don't want to fall off this roof. Well, there's one more thing I got to do in the backyard. My wife has a greenhouse, and there's a lot of pine needles on top of the greenhouse. So I'm going to take this blower and blow the pine needles off the greenhouse. So let me walk over there, show you what I'm looking at. This is the greenhouse. I think I've shown you this in another video before, but as you can see, on both sides of the greenhouse, there's a lot of pine needles. So I'm going to have to move and bring the step ladder over here and blow these pine needles off the greenhouse. See if I can situate the camera here where you can see that, or I can video that. Set the step ladder up over here and blow the pine needles off toward the back. show you what the backyard and front yard look like after I blew all these pine needles off. So I got to clean all this stuff off. So that's part 2, phase 2 of this project. I put the step ladder back up into the shed. So you can see all the pine needles that I blew off the roof are here on the ground. So kind of got to sweep all this stuff up into a pile. My wife may want me to run over this with the lawnmower to chop it up so she can put in the flower beds and that type of thing. So I'm gonna have to get the broom, push broom, and sweep all this stuff up. Let's walk over to the front yard and see what we're looking like. Might have to use the rake in the front yard to rake all this stuff up. But this here is this is called a push broom because I can use it and push, and I can sweep up stuff with this. And right here, this is the rake, which I may end up having to use in the front yard. So here you see all the pine needles that came off the roof. Have to clean all that up. But it's just part of living in this part of the country, especially where you have a lot of pine needles and big pine trees. It's just so it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. Something that you got to do. Well, I'm not going to bore you with sweeping and raking up all these pine needles. That's something that's kind of boring. Probably don't want to see that. But I just wanted to show you blowing what it's like to blow these pine needles off the roof. And hope you learned something. Hey, do you got a problem with pine needles, pine trees where you live? Hey, let me know. Or do you have other issues that you got to take care of? Well, I think that'll do it for this episode of Learn Everyday English. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, like the video, subscribe, and tell your friends about it. And we'll catch you next time on Learn Everyday English. Talk to you later. Hey, goodbye.